Hey everyone, it is Thursday, August 4th, and welcome to another edition of A Clueless Tourist in Amsterdam. And I am here in Vondel Park. And I think just off in that direction are the Rijksmuseum and the Van Gogh Museum. I recorded a video yesterday on a rental bike where I went right past those two museums, and for this one I'm gonna head out of the park, which is just up ahead here, and go for a walk along Leidseplein. That's at least how Google told me to pronounce it. And there we'll find a historic town square along with one of the busier nightlife areas in the city, although it is of course the afternoon, and there'll be a lot of shopping. And then I think I'll head up around Rokin Station, and after that I'm not really sure. We're just kind of wandering around the city. So once the lights allow me to cross, I'll head over to Leidseplein, which is just off in that distance. So this area is to the south of Centrum Station. And I just made my way over here from the big food hall in. And I had myself a sushi wrap, a salmon and avocado wrap to be specific. I thought Toronto intersections can be long. Technically, there's still a don't walk sign, but when in Rome. And this is interesting, a little taste of what's to come along the Eglinton East part of the LRT tracks. Some greenery on the trams. And you always have to look over your shoulder whenever crossing a bike lane. And it's either this one or the next canal that I'm crossing that is known as the Singel. Whatever. It's a rather hot one. It's about 27 degrees. I think in the opposite direction of me is a street called PC Hoofstraat. That's kind of their Fifth Avenue or Yorkville. I was debating walking down there, but I only have so many steps I can burn, and I didn't really feel like walking directly towards the sun. And I'm only here for a few more days. So I'm sure there's a whole lot of this amazing city that I'm going to miss out on. There's a cafe. And it looks like a little variety store. I've seen a whole lot of whatever this e-bike is. This seems to be the most common model. There's the tail end of a boat rolling through. I guess rolling is not the right word. And this is the main square coming up. There's the number 17 tram. And if I were to stay in Amsterdam again, I think I would set my sights on that Marriott hotel, which is just to the south of here. Or possibly the NH, which is a Dutch brand. And the reason for that is my hotel seems to have all sorts of quirks. And every time I talk to someone who I just meet and we talk about our hotels, they seem to echo a lot of the same things. Like our hotels don't have fridges, despite not exactly being budget hotels. They don't have ice machines. My hotel doesn't even have a closet or wardrobe, but it's got a humongous bathroom and soaker tub. It's really quite bizarre. And that seems to be the case with most of the hotels here. I think that's the American hotel. One of them is the American hotel. And just on the right is the Apple store. And I think in February of 2022, somebody took a hostage there and they ended up killing the hostage taker. It's my understanding that wherever you see these striped crossings, the pedestrian gets right away, unless there are signals indicating otherwise. And this area on the other side of the street is kind of neat. If you come here at night, all these patios outside are packed with people. It's a very popular spot to drink. I think next to the red light district, it's probably the most common place to find people hanging out at night. Probably a lot of good people watching and seats like that. And that's a supermarket, I believe. I just broke a Fitbit goal. Walk to walk. Amazingly, I have not yet been to a McDonald's. Some of these are well-known shopping streets. I think I heard someone trying to get to a Brandy Melville store. And here is Fibo. Burger $3.50. This is kind of instant food that's apparently quite good. I'm gonna have to try it at some point. Amsterdam Originals. And according to that sign, the Anne Frank house is 1.1 kilometers in that direction. And this is the canal that my hotel is on. They all kind of go in a semicircle, so you would go straight and then it would bend to the right. Although if I were to ask Google how to get to my hotel, it wouldn't lead me along the canal. And if you know how this street is supposed to work, let me know down in the comments. It looks like cyclists are supposed to ride with the trams. And I don't see what looks to be personal vehicles on it, but I do see trucks and commercial vehicles. There's a Mac store. I've also seen an Allbirds store, which I think might be Canadian. I'm not entirely sure. You'll see a lot of rainbow flags around the city. The big Pride weekend is coming up. They love their burgers here. And you'll notice those are some healthy grooves on the tram tracks. Most of the bikes seem to have fairly thick tires. There's that same model of e-bike I saw earlier. There you could take the 12 tram up to Central Station. That's coming in 4 minutes. Or the number 2 tram. There's one of the tour boats kind of making a 3-point turn. They often struggle to line up and get through those overpasses. In fact, the one I was in bashed it pretty good. And a whole bunch of debris from the bridge came down, like gray concrete dust. There's an Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
Wonder if the lighting is better if I walk on the other side.
On a first date.
There's a Hugo Boss. I just heard someone's Google Map directions kick in. What's interesting is I've seen service booths on these trams with a manned person in them. That one had one. It was on this side. Maybe they all do. You see that person there? So there's a paid employee there to help you.
ये तो मियामी यार कैंटीन है
This looks like an interesting street. I was not planning on going this way. There's a Thai restaurant. I think I've seen more Indonesian food here than Thai food. American Grill. A Royale cheeseburger, $10.90. Isn't that what they call a Whopper in France? Soul Sister Korean barbecue. Sushi restaurant. I think I can cut through here to the main street and then head north up to Rokin. Part of the fun is just kind of wandering around and getting your bearings. Actually, I think I was here last night. There's an Indonesian restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. One we tried to go to. But we ended up going to another one. There it is. Sampurna. And all of a sudden in my head, a whole bunch of dots got connected. What a happy accident turning this way was. There's a Starbucks on the left. And that tram is turning left, and that's going to head straight up to Central. I wanted to cross the street there, but we're going to wait for a break. So I think just north of here is Rokin Station, along with Dom Square, but I think there's a neat area around the corner from here. Leidseplein, Berlin. I wonder if that's any relation to Daniel Leidseplein. So I'm going to turn right here. This is the street I just walked up.
Pick a place, bro.
And I went to a fantastic cocktail bar last night. I'm not sure if it was along this stretch. It was called the Flying Dutchman. Kind of seemed like it was. Either way. What is a Twingo? There's a boat cruise. One I'm going on at 8 tonight was not 30 euros, but 30 pounds. I might have just been on a British site when I ordered it. And that includes all you can drink and snacks. It's a sunset cruise, so it'll be from 8 until 9:30. All right, let's go up this way. Living in one of these must be kind of like living in one of the brownstones in New York City. I think most of these go back to the 17 and 1800s. And that's kind of picturesque. If you had just one canal like this in Toronto, I think it would be one of the most famous photo spots, but here they have several. And you kind of get used to it after a while.
Welcome.
I'm going to see where we are. I don't normally do this in relation to that bar I went to. All right, so the cocktail bar I went to, the Flying Dutchman, was one canal over that way. That's a popular cafe everyone's lined up at. So we went from Sampurna, the Indonesian food I tried to go to last night, and the Indo restaurant I actually went to, and there's a picture of on Instagram, is just up here on the right. And I also went to this Italian restaurant here 2 nights ago, and their pizza was phenomenal. And inside is really, really nice. There's the Indonesian restaurant I went to. You do need reservations at most of these places. We just got lucky. I had like a rice meat plate. It was 30 pounds and came with more food than I could eat. And I had an IPA as well, of course. There's an NH Hotels on the left. That chain seems to be everywhere. Miso sushi. There's one of those micro cars. Apparently Rokin Station is just over there. Magic Mushroom. I have yet to go to a cafe here. And by cafe, I mean try some of the local product, which Amsterdam is very well known for. So most of these streets are just one-way streets, but you'll see people cycling in both directions. And you'll see motorcycles and those micro cars going in the wrong direction as well. Let's follow along this way. And this is Dom Square, right up ahead here. This is the way I walk back to my hotel in the opposite direction. I always walk by this Irish pub here. This street is all ripped up. I'm about to go by a large wax museum. Madame Tussauds. I think I might want to be on the other side here. It's kind of crowded. And the square is all closed off as they're setting up a big stage that will be used for the Pride weekend. And this is the area where I was live streaming when someone came and told me to stop recording, which is of course perfectly legal in public here. We ran into a Dutch Karen. And there's a popular shopping street. I see a Uniqlo straight ahead. Looks pretty crowded. I was planning on walking along there in a future video at some point. I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it. There's Madame Tussauds. We've got wax museums just like it in Niagara Falls. If I were to continue going straight, that'll lead us into the infamous red light district. And going north here will take you up to Centrum. And on the first vlogging video I recorded in Amsterdam, I went up that way. And there's a lot of people in that direction as well as south of here. It's a very interesting statue across the street. In a place called Hudson's Bay. That's curious. Maybe I'll follow their lead and cross. Just gotta make sure there's no bikes coming. Easily done. There's a curiosity, but perhaps even more so if you're a Canadian at least. What the heck was this? That's Canada's oldest retailer. In fact, I think it's North America's oldest retailer. That's the company that owns Saks Fifth Avenue. And here is Rokin Station. So I said I would walk up by Rokin Station at the start of this one, and here we are. So I'm kind of making my way back near towards where we started. And look at all this bicycle parking. And that is a crazy amount of bikes. None of them look to be that expensive. The guy said the bike I rented cost about 550 euros. It was kind of in this style. And maybe it was just because mine was a rental, but it was kind of a bit heavy and a bit rattly, and the brakes didn't work so well. I don't think they used the lightest material for these frames. That might make them more durable, but they're a bit heavier. It's nice of that guy to not even try to move out of the way. So you could jump on the subway here and head 2 stops south down to De Pijp, which is a neighborhood I explored yesterday.
Okay, so one water, 3 times the price, and 1 time.
That seems to be a sketch group. And they are drawing that building with the Amsterdam dungeon in it across the street. Lunch, cha-cha. More bike parking. There's the number 12 tram. And that'll lead us back to where I started. There's all the events scheduled for Pride. Nothing really starting till nighttime on Friday. Looks like the big closing party is on Sunday. I won't be here to see any of that. Maybe on Friday night. So what I'm thinking about doing is buying a ticket. I ditched some friends in that area where I started recording. But my day pass has expired. I'm thinking of hopping on the next tram and just going back there. I don't see any ticket machines. Oh, there's a ticket machine. Too late. Like I said, welcome to another edition of The Clueless Tourist. All right, I think I will make a quick video here of buying a ticket and taking the tram. I hope you enjoyed this one. Walking through Leidseplein and then kind of weaving around the area just to the north of it. Finishing up here at Rokin Station. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.